1? Part 1? Sending this movie for officially kicking off Hollywood's fascination with splitting up movie adaptations of final novels in a series, goddammit.
Childhood is not from birth to a certain age.
Are we still freaking talking? Do we need to know Bella's inner thoughts anymore after 3 motherfucking movies? Ugh, this wedding invitation makes me so mad I'm gonna drop it here in the rain so it'll get soaked. So soaked! Oh yeah, that reminds me, my shirt needs to come off. Even when reading his daughter's wedding invitation, this asshole has to have a beer handy. Also, they're getting married? What the hell happened in that last movie again? Oh, fuck it, I don't really care.
I've been breaking them in for 3 days. Can I just go barefoot?
Yeah, it's either high heels or going barefoot. There certainly isn't any other way to get married.
Tomorrow will be perfect.
Movie cuts from invited guests receiving invitations straight to the wedding day, like that isn't done 5 months ahead of time.
What aisle? Does no one have vision?
Character in the movie openly mocks all the directors who took on Twilight films. Bella creates bad luck by seeing the director of Snow White and the Huntsman before the wedding. Wedding Eve, and Bella still has a huge lamp problem. One here turned on, one here turned off, a string on the wall turned off. Then we cut to this shot to see one lamp on and an entire string of lights on as well. What is this girl's issue with light sources? This fucking guy.
I was just checking for cold feet.
And checking somewhere outside my own shoes. Vampire puns. Also, Edward's vampy sense is tingling. His skin is twinkling. And I think I'm gonna head to the bathroom for a little tinkling.
So for a while, I went off on my own. I wanted to know how it felt to hunt.
So I was definitely watching The Bride of Frankenstein, because that's a popular horror movie that makes sense for the Twilight narrative. I definitely didn't watch A Night at the Opera or The 39 Steps, because the Marx Brothers and Hitchcock. Also, Edward waits until literally the night before the wedding to tell his bride whatever scandalous story this is I've already stopped paying attention to. Also, wasn't Edward changed in 1918? So he decided to rebel from Carlisle after 17 years as a vampire? Or did the filmmakers just want to use Bride of Frankenstein so bad they didn't give No theater staff appears to be working today in 1935. Those were the days when everything pretty much ran itself.
All the men I killed were monsters.
Movie justifies all the killing Edward has ever done by delivering the caveat that they all deserve to die. God forbid he killed any innocent people to make his character just the slightest bit interesting. Also, Dexter Edward is a way better story than Twilight, but is given 30 seconds of time, while the rest of it is approximately 10 hours.
I looked into their eyes as they died, and I saw who I was.
You've been through so much as a couple that I can't believe this story was withheld until now. Unless it's just because there needed to be some new revelation in the fourth Twilight to alleviate writer's block.
I know I can do this.
What? Be a vampire? Can't anyone do that? What does this sentence even mean? Jesus, skip. Vampire hijinks. Editor accidentally cuts American Beauty into this movie. In Bella's dream pre-wedding, her father is a mere guest, rather than walking her up the aisle or giving her away at the altar.
I could do her hair.
Breaking Dawn Part 1 is like the 7th season of a TV show that used to rule the ratings but started to decline, so they plan a wedding episode to spike ratings for Sweeps Week.
And something old. Besides your mother.
Nice.
And now I get to see why they divorced before the first movie even came out. Fun! Edward and Bella somehow managed to book the super popular wedding spot, wooded area of a million hanging angelic white flowers and beautifulness. Word has it they were competing with Mark Zuckerberg for this booking, and won out at the last second when he decided to just have his own forest planet.
I think Bella's gonna be showing.
Jess, she is not pregnant.
Okay. Who else gets married at 18?
Anna Kendrick is all of the following things here in this scene. Hot, correct, inappropriate, judgmental, selfish, and hot.
You ready?
Well, either the entire audience can hear them from that distance, or else this wedding ceremony somehow gave a silent cue to attendees to stand for the imminent bride arrival. Also, it then takes 2 minutes of actual film time to show Bella walk down the aisle.
Just don't let me fall with that.
Never.
Except any of the previous 16 years of your life when I was a total deadbeat alcoholic distant father. Bella's dress is such that it makes the high-heeled training earlier in the movie even dumber, because nobody could even see that anyway. Why is Mom seated right next to her ex-husband? Where's the minor league baseball boyfriend from the first movie? Damn, I was just starting to like that guy.
The rich or the poor.
Much like real weddings, I wish I hadn't been invited to this. It was at this point in the ceremony that Rupert Sanders stood up and said, "I have nothing to declare right now, but I think many of you may find me reprehensible a year from now." Movie cut out the part where every single wedding guest had an objection to this union, a scene which was probably amazing, but was cut out strictly for that reason. Edward and Bella's wedding kiss lasts a whole goddamn day. Also, seriously, a standing ovation for the 18-year-old getting married to the guy most people here think is 17 but is actually 110?
Well, I plan on getting drunk.
Well, I am not surprised to hear you say that, Dad, who always has a beer in his hand anyway. Maggie Grace isn't in some convoluted plot involving being taken in this scene. 90 seconds of mostly inappropriate toasts montage.
Jacob!
How the f does she know who that is at shirt-wearing distance?
Dance with me?
Your alternate lover just outside the reception of your wedding to a dude I f***ing hate? Also, it's part 1 of a popular book series adaptation, so of course, time to make time for best friends dancing.
It's weird to be back on 2 legs again. And clothes.
This is exactly what my college girlfriend said to me after a particularly
This is how I'm gonna remember you.
crying informal wear and promising yourself forever to my sworn enemy. Yeah, this is a f***ing utopian image right here.
Didn't really want to spend my honeymoon writhing in pain.
Who says you have to honeymoon directly after the wedding? Why can't you get changed into a vampire and then have the honeymoon after you've calmed down? The power of lady boners causes the stupidest plot development ever, and we're gonna have to suffer through 2 movies because of it.
No, you can't do this.
The emotional control of these assholes is hepatitis C for the plot. This easily could have been a calm discussion about how vampire boning could kill her, and the supernatural world would flip its shit. Instead, Jacob can't control his wolf temper. It's been 4 minutes since I've written a sin about this movie. I think it's either because I fell asleep or nothing happened in those 4 minutes. Anyway, I think I'll just add a sin because this movie is definitely representative of sloth. Oh, shut your fucking whining, Jacob. Vampire movie just can't resist stomping a bit more on the religious folk among us. Also, I guess the metaphor here is that Bella is Jesus, sacrificing her virginity for the sake of... Wait, and if 30 minutes of a wedding weren't enough, how about 30 minutes of a honeymoon? That's exciting, right? With this movie being PG-13, I bet the sex will be more amazing than anything we saw in Finding Nemo. This newlywed bride didn't shave her legs until arriving at the honeymoon suite. And hey, I'm all for women doing whatever they want with their leg hair, but she clearly thinks shaved is the way to go, so I'm sending her for waiting until now to do something about her leg hair situation. She got married with stubble. The sex is not more amazing than anything we saw in Finding Nemo. Also, vampire-human sexual tension waits until the 4th goddamn movie to even remotely relieve said sexual tension. Yeah, well, you should see what her vagina looks like.
I can't tell you how sorry I am.
Didn't you already know what the risks of vampire-human coitus was going to be before you acted upon said coitus? I mean, is this even an issue? This seems like made-up bullshit to make the movie longer.
I know it's not the same for you, but for a human, I can't imagine that it gets any better than that.
Said the girl who just had sex for the first time. Also, I'm not buying that the ferocious vampire sex was so mind-blowing to this virgin that she was able to see past the pain and somehow had 50 orgasms. Honeymoon, let's play chess! I mean, right? No one will be seated during the Bella and Edward play chess a second time scene. Blah blah blah, 3rd time, blah blah chess.
Well, he's either gonna kill her or change her. And the treaty says...
I say, Jacob.
Have you guys not had this conversation already? Or is this just some bullshit repeated argument you've been having for several months now? If Jacob would just go find a girlfriend, I don't think this would be a problem.
Would you just get over it? It's not like you imprinted on her.
Jesus, you kiss your mother with that mouth? Okay, props to Bella for being imaginative with what she has on hand, but she is currently doing some kind of cooking with restaurant takeout, chicken pieces, peanut butter, and yogurt. In other words, what the f*** does she think she's making? Obvious salmonella catches a huge break and hides behind Bella's coincidental morning sickness.
Is this even possible?
Is this a serious question? What if Carlisle says no? I sure am glad they decided to show the exciting packing scene with Edward doing his vampire shit. It sure beats not seeing a packing scene at all and just going straight to the Cullen house so we can figure out if Bella really is pregnant right now. We'd be lost without this packing scene, I tell you. Thankfully for everyone in this story, this honeymoon island housekeeper knows just enough legend to come in handy during the human vampire pregnancy no one thought was possible. Movie continues to have a fantastic sense of humor in the face of a ridiculous plot.
She's here? They came home 2 weeks ago.
What the f***? This movie doesn't give two shits if I have any idea what shit is taking place when.
I can't see it either, and I can't see Bella's future anymore.
Well, that's convenient in a plot sense, even if it's inconvenient in a character sense.
The fetus isn't good for Bella. Say the word, Alice. Baby. It's just a little baby.
Abortion debate somehow makes its way into part 4 of Vampire movie series. An hour into this fucking movie and we've had a wedding, a sudden pregnancy, and now some wolf vampire tension. That's an hour I'll never get back.
Though I can't figure out why he thinks you'd listen to me. I mean, you never have before.
Because you have constantly tried to get in her pants and everything you've said has directed her toward that goal. And even when you're being serious, you flare up into wolf mode so fast that you can't get a damn thought out without being Jack Torrance from The Shining.
And when you die, what was the point of me loving you, you loving him? How was that right for anyone?
First off, it wasn't right for anyone, especially the audience, even if she lives, asshole. Second off, who cares what her death means to the love triangle? It's like me saying, what was my purpose on Earth if the sun's going to blow up in 4 billion years? Man, this bike. I'm wolfing at home. Also, time to wolf out and run through the woods and review everything that I've heard about Bella's condition so far. Sometimes a good wolfing can clear out your mind. With this exercise, I once stumbled on a really good pasta recipe, so this should definitely figure out Bella's vampire kid problem. So what, were all the members of Jacob's tribe currently in their wolf form when they heard him howling? Were they just kicking back being wolfy, just in case someone gave him a call?
It's unnatural! Dangerous! Monstrosity! An abomination!
Did Jacob's howl tell them all they needed to know about the vampire kid? And why did Jacob tell them anything about it if he knew the other wolves would be pissed and want to kill Bella? I mean, even if he thinks they'll only want the kid, she might be dead giving birth to it, so what was his endgame here?
You mean kill Bella? Her choice affects us all.
Her choice to get pregnant on accident, or her choice to keep the baby? This movie really wants to talk about abortion, doesn't it? Also, I know there are a lot of people out there who love Twilight, and we're not going to judge, but you've got to admit, the scene where the wolves speak telepathically in English to each other is one of the stupidest things ever committed to film.
I am the grandson of Ephraim Black.
I guess this means something. Does that mean something? Will someone please explain to me if that means something? Okay, there's still like 6 or so wolves here who do follow Sam, so can't they just tackle Jacob and put him in wolf prison? Then plan their attack? Why are they allowing this? Because he yelled? Jacob is rebelling against his tribe and running into the woods towards some unknown goal. but still took the time to get a proper human shirt and pants for some reason.
Get ready.
Why did Jacob and Edward bother with this weird long-distance supernatural talk, instead of just inviting him back in? Was this some other stupid power they wanted to show off? Hey guys, we can talk normally at great distances.
Did Sam send you?
Sam doesn't even know I left.
How is that even possible?
I think he just figured it out.
Seriously, just now?
Being unwanted isn't exactly a new thing for me.
Movie expects me to remember some sort of backstory about this character that was briefly mentioned in the first movie, and she wasn't even introduced on screen until the last movie. And looking back at our sins from that movie, we didn't even really know who she was then either. So, f it. Yahoo! Of course, even though no one knows what the hell's going on, the internet is your one-click stop to learn about all that shit in one sitting. These movies get more and more annoying as they go along, but damn if I don't still really covet that house. Jesus, it's f***ing rad.
I can't live without you.
Actually, you are the very definition of someone who can live without her.
Do you honestly think that I could love it? Or even tolerate it if it killed you?
Wow, Edward is the worst father ever, and this kid isn't even born yet. Okay, we get it, she looks awful. Make a decision already. Why can't they just go ahead and somehow C-section this baby out of her at this point? The baby is clearly so strong it doesn't need to follow normal pregnancy protocol, so why does she feel like she needs to carry this demon spawn to term? Plus this, watching the USC-Washington game in 2011 when it extra didn't matter.
If I could only see the fetus, the baby, maybe I could figure out what it wants.
Jesus, are you serious? It wants out!
I have some more negative later side from Bella.
Why didn't you try to do this before? Why have you been sitting on this until she looked like the zombie apocalypse to finally suggest the idea? They put the blood in the styrofoam cup with a straw. I'm seriously not able to stop laughing about this.
Tastes
Oh my god, the suspense. Does it taste bad or good? I'm on pins and...
good.
Ah, that's better.
He's happy.
Of course you are.
Yeah, of course you are. The past 30 minutes of this movie have been 1,000 laughs.
Thought he was like me, but he's not. He's like you. Good. Pure.
Good and pure? That's not like either of you.
What do you hear now?
He loves you, Bella.
Can you also not figure out that this he is a girl yet, since she's telling you every f***ing thing else?
So that's the last of it?
I realize they didn't plan for a sudden vampire pregnancy, but Jesus, they only had a few days worth of blood on hand?
Carlisle, you're the enemy now. Sam won't hesitate. You will be slaughtered.
Jacob is so certain that Carlisle and most of his vampire crew would be slaughtered in any fight with the wolves, I don't understand why Sam hasn't gone full home invasion on the Cullens. In fact, why haven't the werewolves done something like start a fire to smoke them out? This waiting game seems kinda stupid to me. Also, this is the most nothingest ever happensest f***ing movie I've ever seen-sist. Why are these wolves so hell-bent on killing Bella's unborn child again? I mean, it's at best a half-human, half-vampire thing, right? How is that any scarier or more threatening than the pack of vampires living in your region that you've already made peace with? Jacob sets up a distraction for the other wolves so that Carlisle can run through the woods with minimal werewolf resistance. But how does he know that when he randomly walks into the woods, enough of the wolves will come to talk to him? Meanwhile, these wolves hear something, but decide not to tell their wolf counterparts that there's some shit going down they might want to check out. The vampires we've seen in these movies are like the f***ing Flash, but here, these vampires run kinda fast, which is just slow enough to get run down by werewolves. Now, how in the world did you two f*** this up?
You played us!
And in response, we'll all just run away.
If it's a boy, EJ, Edward Jacob.
Oh, jolly good, Governor. What do you say, Albus Severus Potter, old chap? Bella drops a cup and some bullshit happens. So with absolutely no doctor on the premises, a shot of morphine, and an attempted late-term murder abortion, everything's just cool now? It's almost like they were able to press fast forward to somehow avoid all complications of vampire demon baby birthing. Also, did somebody cut the umbilical cord? Because I do not think somebody cut the umbilical cord. Scene intended to be touching contains super bloody baby.
Bella!
Yeah, better just go straight to the CPR without checking her breathing or her consciousness. By the way, Jacob, are you trained for this type of thing?
Jacob, take the baby.
Keep that away from me.
Yeah, I only want to save the mother of that creature I despise, not the creature itself, dumbass.
I'll take her. I promise I'm okay. Let me.
Okay, girl who nearly murdered this kid just 1 minute ago. I guess I can trust you since the plot demands it. I can't wait to give you my baby.
What is that?
It's my venom.
Which I just happen to have lying around in a syringe in this drawer.
I won't kill you. You deserve to live with this.
This seems like the perfect time to have this conversation, while Bella's life hangs in the balance. So, did biting her wrists and ankles cause this, or did the giant needle full of his venom do it? Why is the venom only working now? Did the venom know it needed to act in such a way that it would be dramatic for the audience? Why is she cool now? Also, why is no one watching her? It's like Jasper and Alice decided to go to the room and have sex, because nothing makes sex better than complicated birth that could kill the mother. Digital baby is absolutely f***ing creepy. Jacob will now imprint on this CGI demon baby, which is still one of the creepiest things about this series, because it's both parental and future mate stuff, so one can't help but wonder what it would be like to protect a baby so that you can f*** it in 18 years, which just no one should have to ponder that. Also, Jacob imprints on a f***ing baby. He just fell in love with a baby. I just want everyone to know Jacob fell in love with a baby. I don't care if that means they'll just be friends or he'll be her protector or whatever the f*** they want to do to justify this shit. He just fell in love with a baby. Also, why? Why is this the way imprinting works for Jacob? Does he not have any control over it? He had absolutely crazy feelings for Bella, but it never happened. Now he sees a digital child and he's suddenly wolf goo.
A friend, a brother, a protection.
Yeah, but imprinting, as discussed by the movies themselves, have always suggested that one day you will bang. Oh, there they are, fresh from whatever movies they were shooting other than this one to finally get back into the action. Carlisle and Esme Ex Machina. Everything's so dark, who cares what happens? Also, werewolves had no idea they have sharp teeth and claws, opting to go with tackling and menacing. I mean, these werewolves are awful fighters. Jacob all but predicted a slaughter a minute ago. They're terrible and stupid, and I want to go home.
Whoever a wolf imprints on can't be harmed. It's their most absolute law.
It is? That's dumb. Why not wolf not kill wolf? Or wolf together strong? Stupid imprinting. Stupid Jacob. Somebody should write a law about imprinting on vampire children. Too late now. Stupid imprinting. Well, some undead body needs a sandwich. Why is this taking so long? A minute ago we saw the venom working and its magic bringing her back to life. Now there's a waiting process like we're at the DMV or some Also, when I was turned, it was nearly instantaneous. Wait, I may have said too much. Previously on all the Twilights. Eye-opening cliffhanger cliche. God damn, this movie has 13 minutes of credits. This mid-credits scene serves solely to tell us that Carlisle let the Volturi know Bella's been turned, and that the Volturi are still evil, which enhances my enjoyment of this movie and its credits -12. Also, to recap, Bella and Edward got married, played some chess, had rough sex resulting in a fetus, everyone waited around a long-ass time at the Cullen house, then the baby was born, and Jacob has some weird sexual, non-sexual tie to it. The end? Jesus, that's like 5 pages of script for f***'s sake.
I am a star. I'm a star, I'm a star, I'm a star.
Ever since CinemaSins began, the most requested thing has been TV Sins, and now it's a reality. Click the link in the description below to check it out. And now, the audio outtakes.
Sometimes you think you have true love, and then you catch the early flight home from San Diego, and a couple of nude people jump out of your bathroom blindfolded like a goddamn magic show, ready to double team your girlfriend, and it stops.
Move your body like a hairy troll. I'm learning to rock and roll. I spin around like a crazy elf.
Everything's packed and ready to go.
All my bags are packed. I'm ready to go.
Five 1,000. Breathe. This is not working. Joe, take over.
Mutation. It is the key to our evolution. It has enabled us to evolve from a single-celled organism into the dominant species on the planet.
And you're looking at your claws and you're looking at your fangs and you're thinking to yourself, I don't know what to do, man. I don't know how to kill the bunny. With this, you don't know how to kill the bunny. Do you know what I mean?